They didn't announce it. No goodbye post, no dramatic exit. They just stopped showing up. Quietly. Successful people are leaving social media. Not all at once, not loudly. And not because they can't handle it, but because they finally understood something. At first, social media feels like opportunity, connection, visibility, leverage. Then something changes. Not in the apps, in you. You start checking without intention, scrolling without curiosity, posting without meaning, and slowly your attention stops belonging to you. The people leaving noticed this early. They asked a dangerous question. What is this actually costing me? Social media never charges money up front, but it charges something more valuable. Fragments of thought, emotional energy, mental silence. The bill arrives quietly. This isn't about discipline, it's about environment. You don't become focused by standing in noise and trying harder. You leave the noise. Social platforms are built on interruption. They reward reaction, fast opinions, hot takes, emotional spikes. That environment trains your brain, even if you think you're immune. Social media flattens thinking. It compresses complexity into captions. Nuance dies there. And people who build real things need nuance. When your ideas are constantly exposed before they're fully formed, they weaken. Depth needs privacy, silence, time without performance. This is why high performers go quiet. Not because they're hiding, because they're incubating. The loudest voices online are rarely doing the deepest work. They're maintaining relevance. That's a full-time job. And it pays in attention, not peace. There's a subtle shift that happens. You stop thinking for yourself. You start thinking in post formats. Is this shareable? Is this impressive? Will this perform? That question slowly replaces, is this true? Successful people notice when their inner compass gets noisy. They don't argue with it, they adjust the environment. Social media creates artificial urgency. Everything feels important, everything feels now, but real progress is slow, boring, often invisible. The people quietly leaving are choosing long-term leverage over short-term visibility. They're not chasing attention. They're building assets, skills, systems, relationships, things that don't need constant posting. Being unavailable is a signal, not arrogance, focus. People who are doing meaningful work are often hard to reach because their attention is expensive. Social media makes attention cheap, always on, always reacting, always reachable. Successful people reverse that. Social media turns life into a leaderboard. Even if you say you don't care, your nervous system does. You absorb wins that aren't yours, losses that aren't yours, emotions that don't belong to you. That's exhausting. And exhaustion kills judgment. People who build long-term success guard their emotional baseline. They need steadiness. Ask yourself this: what kind of thinking does your work require? Deep or reactive? Slow or fast? Quiet or loud? Then look at your environment. Does it support that? Successful people align environment with outcome. Always. Social media invites performance. You become a version of yourself designed to be consumed. Over time, that performance hardens. You start confusing the avatar with the person. Quitting social media is often an identity reset. You stop asking, how does this look? And start asking, how does this feel? That shift changes everything. This doesn't mean isolation. It means intentional connection. Fewer people, deeper conversations, less broadcasting, more building. Successful people understand a paradox. Reach is overrated. Relevance is underrated. A small circle of the right people beats thousands of passive followers. Every time. Even short scrolling sessions leave traces. Thought fragments, emotional static. You sit down to work, but your mind is elsewhere, still processing other people's lives. High performers hate residue. They want clean starts, clear minds, undivided attention, so they subtract, not dramatically, methodically. First, they stop posting, then they stop checking. Eventually, they stop missing it. What replaces it isn't boredom, it's presence. Long walks, uninterrupted work, real conversations. Time stretches again. Social media makes you feel involved without actually building anything. You comment, you react, you consume. It feels like participation, but nothing compounds. Builders want compounding, not stimulation. This is why quitting feels risky, because it removes the illusion of progress. You're left with the work, and the work is quiet. But quiet work scales, attention doesn't. On social media, you don't control distribution. Algorithms do. Rules change. Reach disappears. You adapt again and again. Successful people dislike unstable foundations. They prefer owned channels, skills that travel, work that stands alone. This doesn't mean social media is evil. It means it's misused, especially by people who don't need it. Early on, visibility helps. Later, it distracts. The problem is knowing when to leave. Most people stay too long because leaving looks like falling behind. It isn't. It's choosing depth over noise. Notice the pattern. The more successful someone becomes, the less they explain themselves. They don't document everything. They don't argue online. They don't chase relevance. They let results speak. Eventually, there's also peace in being misunderstood. Social media pushes you to clarify constantly. Explain, defend, update. Successful people let silence do the work. Silence is powerful. It creates space for thought, for strategy, for rest. And rest is not laziness, it's maintenance. The system doesn't encourage rest. It encourages engagement. Because engagement is profitable, calm is not. So stepping away is a form of independence. You stop feeding the machine. You reclaim your attention. Attention is the real currency. Money follows it. Calm follows it. Quality follows it. People who quietly quit aren't anti-technology. They're pro-agency. They choose when and how they engage, not the other way around. When you stop chasing attention, you often become more interesting because your ideas mature, your work deepens, your presence sharpens. Scarcity increases value, always has. This isn't a call to delete everything. It's an invitation to observe. Notice how you feel after scrolling. Notice how you feel after an hour of deep work. One drains, one builds. Successful people make that trade consciously, again and again. If you're wondering why some people seem calm, focused, unrushed, look at what they've removed, not what they've added. They didn't find a secret app, they created space. And once you see this, another question naturally arises. If social media is stealing our attention so quietly, what else in our daily lives is doing the same without us noticing?